With the FBI.
I've been a special agent for 9 years.
And do you have any special assignment within the agency?
Currently, I'm assigned to investigate counterintelligence matters, national security matters.
And have you had any previous assignments to that?
I did. Previous to my current assignment, for over 6 years, I was assigned to investigate violent crimes.
I'm going to draw your attention to the month of December 2009. What position were you in at that time with the FBI?
At that time, I was assigned to the violent crimes squad.
And did you have any previous experience in child crimes?
I had previous experience, yes. I've received training as a coordinator, as a collateral duty, as a special agent for the National Center for Analysis of Violent Crime.
And what does a coordinator do?
The coordinator's position essentially is to facilitate FBI headquarters and local police departments, state police departments, other federal agencies in investigating serial murders, serial rapes, kidnappings, other bizarre crimes. And I'm basically the middleman, make sure that I put the two entities in touch with each other.
And obviously other persons within the Federal Bureau of Investigations knew that you held that position?
Yes, ma'am.
And would sometimes other agents call you for help during their investigations?
They would.
All right. Specifically in the month of December of 2009, were you asked for help in an investigation involving a missing child by the name of Gabriel Johnson?
I was.
And can you tell us how you became involved initially?
I received a call from another special agent out of the Phoenix division of the FBI. He requested assistance from our office, the San Antonio office, to go visit a retail store where it was believed Elizabeth Johnson and Gabriel Johnson may have been located. At the time, I was on vacation in Miami, Florida, so I did not go out on that lead, but I did contact my supervisor of my squad and apprised him of the situation and passed on any information I received from the agent here in Phoenix, Arizona, to my supervisor, who then dispersed the information to other squad mates of mine in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay. And the special agent that contacted you, was that someone by the name of Mike Conrad?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And your supervisor at the time, what was his name?
His name is Luis Carrillo.
Can you spell that last name, please?
Yes, the last name is spelled C-A-R-R-I-L-L-O.
And did you in fact contact your supervisor and pass along that information at that time?
I did.
Now, do you recall the date that you received this initial call?
My recollection is December 30th of 2009.
And you just happened to be in Miami, Florida at that time, correct?
I was on vacation.
All right. Now, did you receive further information about this investigation later?
I did. Upon my return to the San Antonio division, the investigation into trying to determine the whereabouts of Gabriel Johnson was continuing by other squad mates of mine in San Antonio. And on one occasion, we were given instructions by our squad supervisor to locate a babysitter that was believed to have babysat Gabriel Johnson. And so I and another squad mates and several other squad mates went out to locate this individual in the southern part of San Antonio, Texas.
All right. And was this a babysitter by the name of Annalisa Urias?
That's correct.
All right. And what information did you have about her at that time?
The information we had was that she apparently had been, or some information came in that she babysat Gabriel Johnson. And so we wanted to go ahead and the lead was to go ahead and see if we could make contact with her, interview her about that, and glean any information we could that might lead to the whereabouts of Gabriel Johnson.
And did she live in the San Antonio area still at that time?
She did.
All right. And were you able to make contact with her initially?
On that occasion, no.
All right. And how was that?
We visited the address that we had for the babysitter, spoke to some individuals in the home, but she was not present. And the individuals we spoke to could not give us or provide us a way to contact her. So we left the business card, asked that as soon as contact was made with the babysitter to please contact us because we needed to speak to her.
Okay. And when you say we, who was with you?
Other special agents of my squad.
All right. And after leaving the location that day, did you make any other efforts to find her yourself?
I did not.
Okay, but did other members of your team?
Yes, they did.
And eventually she was located, correct?
Yes.
Now, during the time that you were going to find Annalisa, did you make any observations as you were driving there?
Yes, we did.
And what was that?
I was driving with a squad mate of mine, and as we were heading down to the location where we believed the babysitter to reside, we noticed a bus station on the left side of the highway as we were heading towards the address. And my squad mate mentioned, we had some information that Miss Johnson had left San Antonio on a bus, and we thought this might be a good place just to visit and see if we could get any information regarding Elizabeth Johnson and Gabriel Johnson.
And what highway was this located off of?
My recollection is Interstate 37 South.
And at some point, did you in fact go to that location?
We did. After failing to make contact with the babysitter at her residence, on the way back to our office, we stopped at the bus station.
Okay, and was the name of this bus station the Tornado Bus Company?
Yes.
All right, and when you stopped at that location, what happened?
My partner and I walked into the bus station, and we spoke to a proprietor there and inquired about if they had seen Elizabeth Johnson, perhaps with her child, at this bus station. My recollection is that we had a flyer of some sort that I believe depicted Elizabeth Johnson and a vehicle similar to what we believe she was driving. And that was shown to the gentleman at the bus station. And my recollection is that this individual told my partner that he had in fact seen Elizabeth Johnson. And from there we proceeded to ask additional questions. We asked for any records that might verify that. We asked for video, and we eventually did obtain that.
Okay, and was this person that you spoke with an individual by the name of Luis Chavez?
Yes.
May I approach the exhibit table?
You may.
May I approach the witness?
You may.
I'm showing you exhibits 132 and 133. Are these the documents that you received from Mr. Chavez?
Yes.
Thank you. And you indicated that you also obtained video?
Yes.
And can you tell us about that?
The video was a video cassette tape, and it depicted on that day several camera angles of the passengers at the bus station, outside the bus station, and the buses that would pull into essentially what appears to be two carports. The bus would pull into those carports, and the passengers that were waiting for that bus would board the bus and head out of there.
And did you, when you viewed that video, were you able to find anything of evidentiary value?
No, I was not.
Now, I'm going to back up just a little bit. When you were at Annalisa's house earlier, prior to going to the bus station, did you search the home to see if the child was there or any evidence of the child being there?
We did.
Okay, and were you able to find any evidence of that nature?
We did not.
Now, after you visited the Tornado Bus Company, did you receive information about the possible vehicle that Elizabeth Johnson may have been driving?
I did.
Okay, and can you tell us about that?
While at the bus station, while my partner was speaking to the proprietor of the bus station, I received a call from Special Agent Michael Conrad, and he asked me if there was a Motel 6 in the area. I responded that yes, there was, because I knew from just previous investigations that on other matters that I had conducted that there was a Motel 6. But I said I needed to walk out to make sure, so I did. I left the bus station, I walked outside, and parallel to the bus station was there a Motel 6. At that time, Agent Conrad informed me that he was receiving information that the vehicle might be at that location. So I proceeded to walk from the bus station over to the Motel 6 to see if I could locate the vehicle. From the bus station to the Motel 6, there is a privacy fence, so I initially did not see it. But as I walked over there and turned the corner around that wooden privacy fence, I saw a vehicle that matched the description of the vehicle we believe to belong to Elizabeth Johnson. And I walked towards the vehicle, and based on some of the information I had, I believe I had a license plate or something to that effect, identified that as the vehicle belonging to Elizabeth Johnson and advised Special Agent Conrad of such.
And was this a white Oldsmobile Delta 88 from 1995?
It was a white vehicle, but I don't remember the make or model.
Okay. But you had identifying information from Special Agent Conrad as to the specificities of the vehicle?
Yes.
And that vehicle you found in that Motel 6 parking lot matched it exactly to the description that you had?
It did.
Okay. What did you do at that point?
At that point, I contacted my supervisor and advised him that we had located the vehicle. I advised my partner that we had located the vehicle. And at that point, we had additional agents from the office come out to start looking at the vehicle, photograph the vehicle for eventual processing. We were going to process the vehicle.
And were you there for that process?
I was there for the photography that was taken of the vehicle in place, but of the actual search of the vehicle, which occurred at a later date, no, I was not.
Okay. Did you do anything further at that scene?
At that scene, I did go in and spoke to whoever was on duty there at the hotel, and I asked if they had recognized Elizabeth Johnson, if they had recognized Gabriel Johnson. My recollection is that they did not. I asked if they had video that we could obtain of the premises, and they advised yes, and we did, in fact, obtain video from that premise as well.
All right. And what did that video depict?
When I viewed it at a later time, it did show the vehicle at the location. On this video, I'm able to observe the vehicle pulling into the parking spot there at the Motel 6. I'm not able to make the vehicle out clearly, but I could tell it was the vehicle. Could not make out the driver. The windows appeared to be up. The vehicle was parked there, it seemed, for quite some time before someone exited the vehicle, closed the door, from the driver's side, I should say, walked to the back of the vehicle, appeared to open the trunk, was there for a little bit, shut the trunk, and then walked in the direction of the Tornado bus station.
Okay. And this surveillance video that you viewed, is it one of those that's from far away in a parking lot?
It's from a camera on the hotel building that has a shot towards the vehicle. The camera angle was towards the driver's side of the vehicle.
And were you able to obtain any other surveillance video of that area?
No, my only recollection is a video from the bus company and from the Motel 6.
And the video that you observed from the Motel 6, is it the car that you saw, is it in the time frame of when other information in the case indicates Elizabeth Johnson had gone to the Tornado Bus Company?
It was.
After your contact with the Motel 6, did you have contact with any other hotels or motels?
Did have contact with the Home Gate Suites, which is where Miss Johnson and Gabriel Johnson were staying during their stay in San Antonio.
Okay. And how did you come about gathering that information?
That's from other agents on my squad, from Special Agent Mike Conrad. They mentioned that this was the hotel that she was staying at.
Right. And did you do anything specifically at that location?
I did go to that location and walked around the premises to try to determine if there was any information of lead value that might lead to the whereabouts of Gabriel Johnson and Elizabeth Johnson, and noticed that there is across the street from the hotel a business establishment that has cameras all over the building that seem to point in the direction of the Motel 6. So went to that establishment, and in fact, they do have video in that establishment that overlooks the motel where Elizabeth Johnson and Gabriel Johnson were stayed during their time in San Antonio.
And what did you do then?
At that point, we requested video from that establishment, and we reviewed it to see if we can determine if we could catch a glimpse or an image of Elizabeth Johnson and Gabriel Johnson on the cameras, which I did not. Was able to see Elizabeth Johnson's vehicle on one of the cameras from that facility.
And what did that depict?
The image shows a vehicle matching the description of Elizabeth Johnson's vehicle, leaving the vicinity of the room where she was staying at during her stay in San Antonio, cross in front of the camera, and then out of view, and then other camera angles from other cameras show the vehicle heading towards Fredericksburg Road, which is parallel to Interstate 10, and the vehicle heading in that direction of I-10.
And was this on the date of December 27th, 2009?
My recollection is that it was on the Sunday that Ms. Johnson left San Antonio.
Now, were you able to obtain any other surveillance video that depicted Elizabeth Johnson?
Yes, I was able to obtain two video surveillance footage of Elizabeth Johnson. One showed Elizabeth Johnson in a liquor store, I believe on December 22nd. She's buying, it appears, a bottle of liquor from this particular store, or liquor store, and she's by herself.
Okay. And the other video?
The other video is of the Ross department store on the date that she left San Antonio. And again, Elizabeth Johnson is by herself, and she is purchasing what appears to be a backpack.
And you indicated that she was by herself in that store?
Yes.
Now, did you go back to the Homegate Motel or Hotel and speak with any of the staff there?
I spoke to members of housekeeping, and on one of those occasions they provided me with the abandoned property, as they called it, of Elizabeth Johnson from the room she stayed in.
All right. And do you recall what type of property was left in that room?
It was miscellaneous. It appeared to have adult clothing, children clothing. I think there were some picture frames in that abandoned property. I remember some, like a baby pacifier, perhaps some medicine bottles that appeared to be for an infant or a child, items of that nature.
And were you able to review the items that were found, that were located in the car that she had abandoned at the Motel 6?
When I initially found the vehicle, I saw some of the items in the vehicle, and then later on, once the search was conducted by other members of personnel in the FBI building, saw the items that were collected.
Okay. And when you first observed the vehicle, what were the items that you saw yourself?
I recall seeing a purse on the ground of the passenger side, front passenger side. I recall seeing what appeared to me to be a baby car seat, diapers, I believe baby powder, clothing, papers, items of that nature.
And were there also receipts found in the car?
It's my understanding they were, yes.
Okay. Particularly a Jack in the Box receipt?
Yes, I do recall that being written in one of the reports.
Okay. And a Ross receipt dated 12/27/09?
Yes.
All right. Was there also a brownish red colored journal found on the front passenger floorboard?
Yes, I know a journal was found, but where in the vehicle, I don't know.
Okay. And was there a wallet containing credit cards, change, also found?
I do have a vague recollection of that, yes.
Okay. Was there a notebook with handwritten notes?
Yes, there was.
A Homegate Studios hotel receipt dated December 20th, 2009 to December 27th, 2009?
I don't recall seeing it myself, but if it's on the report, then yes, those are items that are found. What's itemized in the report are the items that are found in the particular search area.
Have you had an opportunity to review the evidence recovery log in this case?
I have not. Not recently.
But at some point during your investigation, did you review the items that were found in the car?
I did.
Okay. And if they're indicated on the evidence recovery log, they were found at that time, correct?
Correct.
Was there a newborn screening collection kit found?
I don't have any recollection of that.
Is there anything that would refresh your memory as to what was found in the vehicle?
Probably the logs that were, written that day.
Okay, may I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
Does
Yes,
that refresh your memory?
It does.
May I approach again, Your Honor?
You may.
Was there a newborn screening kit found?
That is the one item that I don't recall seeing. I don't have recollection of that item.
All right, there was also diapers, bottles, baby food, baby spoon,
Yes, I do recall those items.
a wine bottle opener, a baby blanket,
Yes.
bibs, as well as 7 photo frames with pictures in them.
Yes, I do recall that.
And was there also a tote found with a passport inside?
I have a recollection of the tote. I don't remember the passport.
Okay. Social Security card and other legal pads with writing and papers, a monthly planner.
I do recall those items.
Okay. Now, while you were conducting your part of the investigation, I know you've mentioned that there were other FBI agents involved. What other FBI agents were involved that you are aware of?
Are you asking for their names?
Yes.
Special Agent Kevin Plaisance, Special Agent Fernando Gutierrez, Special Agent Sergio Borrego, many members of my squad.
Okay. And these are all individuals that are part of the team located in San Antonio, correct?
That is correct.
All right. Now, did you also work with the San Antonio Police Department during this investigation?
I did.
All right. And what did you do in connection with the San Antonio Police Department?
I attended interviews with Detective Salome, who was the lead detective on this case. Spoke to different people, went to different retail stores, trying to uncover information of lead value that might lead us to the whereabouts of Gabriel Johnson and Elizabeth Johnson.
Okay. And there's an exchange of information that's going on among all the agencies during this time, correct?
That is correct.
I have no further questions. Oh, actually, when you located the car in the Motel 6 parking lot, what was the physical condition of the car? What observations did you make about it?
My recollection is the vehicle had the driver's side window was down. The key to the vehicle were in the car. And I have a recollection that the passenger side window in the front cabin may have been down as well. The vehicle appeared to be clean, almost as if it had been washed. But other than that, it appeared to be in good condition.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I have no further questions.
Cross-examination?
No questions, Judge.
Okay. Does the jury have any questions for Special Agent Morales before we let him go? Doesn't look like it. May this witness...
And who are you employed by?
City of Tempe.
What is your position there?
Currently, I'm in a group called Special Projects.
And what does that involve?
That's conspiracy level drug enforcement at this time.
Have you had any other positions at the Tempe Police Department?
Yes, I've been a patrol officer. I've been a field training officer. Been a recruit training officer. I've been in drug enforcement. I think that's it.
And do you have any specialized training in any particular areas with the Tempe Police Department?
Yes, I have specialized training in drug identification, drug investigations, to include street level and undercover work, to mid-level, to conspiracy level, which would include wiretaps.
Okay. And let's talk about wiretaps. What training or experience do you have in wiretaps?
I have training through the Attorney General's office, through the Drug Enforcement Administration, through the Florida National Guard. Experience-wise, I've been in special investigations is what the group is called, and I've been in there since 2001, and in that time I've been involved in 10 separate wiretaps. And being involved can include acting as surveillance, being a monitor of phone calls, being a line investigator, or authoring the actual affidavit.
Right, now can you briefly explain for the jury what exactly a wiretap is?
A wiretap is an intercept of someone's electronic communication, and that could include cell phones, home phones. If there were such, if people use pagers, it can include pagers. It can now include things like MySpace or Facebook or email accounts.
And I'm going to draw your attention back to January of 2010.
Okay.
Were you asked to become involved in a case involving a missing child by the name of Gabriel Johnson?
Yes.
And how were you asked to become involved?
I was asked for my experience dealing with investigations that could involve a wiretap.
And what did you do at that time?
At one point, the decision was made that they wanted to author an affidavit to intercept telephonic and electronic communications of two individuals, and they needed someone to write that affidavit, and that's along with another detective. We authored that and completed an affidavit.
And was that Detective Patricia Ramirez?
Correct.
She's seated right here.
Yes.
And the two individuals that you initially were asked to intercept their communications, who were those individuals?
The two individuals were Tammy Smith and Robert Johnson.
And Tammy Smith was under investigation at that time, correct?
Correct.
For being possibly involved in this case.
Yes.
And Robert Johnson, was that the grandfather of Elizabeth Johnson?
Correct.
Now, in order to draft an affidavit, when you draft an affidavit, you essentially lay out the investigation and the facts that are known at that time, correct?
Correct.
And you present that to the court.
Yes.
Okay. And the court reviews it,
Yes.
and then the court makes a decision as to whether or not to grant that wiretap.
Yes.
Okay. And in this case, was the wiretap granted?
Yes.
And was that on January 6th, 2010?
Correct.
All right. Now, once it was granted on January 6th, 2010, what steps were taken at that point?
Once the wiretap is granted by the court, then part of the paperwork is a phone order, and it's called a provider order. And in this case, I believe Verizon and Cox Communications were the providers that we had listed, as they were the portion of the phones that the person used, the subscribers. So then we send off this subscriber order to these entities, whether it be Cox Communications or Verizon, and then from there, they, with lack of a better term, flip the switch and turn on these, so we can monitor it. So I activate the phone so we can now intercept calls coming in and going out, including text messages. If the phone is set up that way, we're authorized to do that.
And does this occur at one specific location?
On this case, it did occur at one location.
Okay, and this is an office that is set up with the equipment and facilities to enable a wiretap to take place, correct?
Yes, when you're doing a wiretap, you have to have a very secure location that has ability to restrict access to and from, obviously, because it's the ultimate intrusion. So we have to have complete privacy and security. So there is a facility that we used for this case close by.
And at that facility, who is located at the facility?
As far as,
What personnel are involved in actually conducting the wiretap?
we're going to have each facility has equipment, obviously, and it's going to include monitors and computers. So there's always going to be an individual who is in charge of that. And he would be, or she would be, the person who would, coordinate maybe with the phone companies if there was a technical issue and get the lines set up so we can listen to it. So that person's obviously vital to the operations. We have that. We have investigators there. We have monitors, whether it be civilian or law enforcement, and their job is to listen and monitor the calls that come in and classify them and minimize them if necessary. And then obviously there's supervisors involved.
So for this particular wiretap, as an estimate, how many people were involved in monitoring this wiretap?
There may have been, it's a 7-day-a-week, all day, all night kind of job. So there's going to be a dozen, 15 people probably involved.
Now, you indicated that there's one main person who's kind of overseeing the whole thing,
Correct.
and then there are investigators, and are those investigators from the agency that are investigating the crime?
Yes, if an investigation's happening where maybe they don't have experience in doing wiretaps, there's going to be someone there that is familiar with wiretaps and the knowledge and the expertise to do that. Then there's going to be investigators who are familiar with the case, and they're the ones that can look at the calls and determine if they're going to be needed later.
And then you indicated there are persons called monitors.
Correct.
And you said they could either be law enforcement or civilian?
Yes.
Okay, if they're not, well, let's talk about the civilian monitors. Where do these people come from?
With wiretaps, you're going to use a contract company. So we use a specific company, and they provide the monitors. And it's just an employment. So they're employed and trained, and they pass various background checks, obviously. And they're the ones, if we do a civilian monitoring staff, we're going to use this company.
And everyone that's involved in this operation obviously is trained on how a wiretap works, correct?
Correct.
And everyone that's involved in this is aware of what the goals of the wiretap are.
Correct. They're given the affidavit and they sign that they've read it.
Now, when a wiretap is granted, are there specific purposes for which the wiretap can be used?
Correct.
And can you explain in this case what the purpose was?
In this particular case, as every case is different, but in this particular case, they're trying to locate the missing child. And that's the main goal in this particular case. And they're also looking to gather evidence of his abduction, as far as the wiretap or murder, and identify all co-conspirators. It's a 3-goal process on this particular wiretap.
So basically, it was to gather information regarding the child's possible whereabouts or who might have information about
Correct.
it. All right. Now, at some point, did the wiretap extend to include monitoring calls made by Elizabeth Johnson? Or, I'm sorry, monitoring communications by Elizabeth Johnson.
Yes.
And in total, did this wiretap take place until January 25th of 2010?
Correct.
So during the period of the 6th through the 25th, the calls and communications of Elizabeth Johnson, Robert Johnson, and Tammy Smith's phone are being monitored.
Correct.
Now, you mentioned earlier something about when the monitors are listening to the calls, they can minimize the call. Can you explain exactly what level of monitoring goes on
Okay.
these calls?
As I've said before, the wiretap and eavesdrop, if you will, is just the ultimate intrusion to someone's privacy. So we have to go to great steps to show the court that we've exhausted all issues, that there's nothing else we can do. Once we do go up on these phones, we can't just listen to any conversation we want. There's going to be privileged conversations, for example, attorney-client, medical, I think clergy, husband-wife as long as it's not related to the crime. But these monitors are trained that if a call comes in like that and it is not pertinent to the case, and they're not talking about the specific goals that we're trying to accomplish, then they have to minimize. And what that means is it's a button they push, and they can no longer hear that call. But they can spot check to make sure that the conversation doesn't quickly switch to something pertinent to the case. But that is just one of the great steps you have to take when you're monitoring phones. You just can't listen to anything you want. It has to be specific to the case.
And what was your role during this wiretap after the affidavit was filed and the order was granted?
Because of my experience and expertise in the use of wiretaps, my job in this case was to oversee the day-to-day operations of the wiretap itself.
And during the existence of this wiretap, was there any information that led to the goals of the operation?
Not that I'm aware of.
I have no further questions.
Cross-examination?
No questions, Judge. Thank you.
Okay, before we let Agent McCluskey, Detective McCluskey go, do we have any questions from the jury forum? Doesn't look like it. May this witness, Ms. Ramuno, you may proceed.
Thank you. Sergeant Thompson, would you please introduce yourself to the jury?
My name is John Thompson. I'm a sergeant with the Tempe Police Department.
And what is your current assignment as a sergeant?
Right now, I'm currently assigned to the Patrol Division.
All right, and previous to that, what positions have you held within the Tempe Police Department?
Previous to that, I was a patrol officer, and then I transferred into the Criminal Investigations Bureau, where for approximately 11 and a half to 12 years, I was a detective within that bureau.
And while you were within that bureau, did you have occasion to become involved in the investigation of Elizabeth Johnson?
Yes, I did.
And how was it that you first became involved in that investigation?
I believe it was December 28th, 2009, that I was called by a detective supervisor. At that time, I was working as a homicide detective within criminal investigations. I had been a homicide detective throughout my career. I'd been a homicide detective for approximately 11 years. The detective sergeant had called me in and informed me that over the weekend there was a situation that had been brought to our attention, and that other detectives had been working on it up till this point, but there was a possibility they needed other assistance.
And at that time, what did you do?
At that point, I received an initial debriefing from the detective supervisor, as well as the other detectives that had been working on the case throughout the weekend, and then I started helping them in whatever way I could. I believe on that first day, one of the first things I did was help prepare a flyer that could be sent to other law enforcement agencies across the United States, but namely in a particular area of Texas that we believed Elizabeth Johnson and Gabriel were now located within that region. So I helped prepare a flyer that could be viewed by other agencies.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
I'm showing you what's marked as Exhibit 127. Is this the flyer you helped create?
Yes, it is.
Right. Your Honor, at this time, the state moves to enter into evidence Exhibit 127.
Any objection?
No objection.
Exhibit 127 is admitted.
Permission to publish?
You may.
Okay, and I'm going to zoom in on the first half of this. It indicates the parties that are, or the party that's missing, Gabriel Scott Johnson, and the mother, Elizabeth Joanne Johnson, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and the vehicle that she was known to be using at that time.
That is correct, yes.
And is that a white 1995 Oldsmobile Delta 88
Yes, it is.
with an Arizona plate of AGZ4214?
Yes.
And the last four of the VIN number are included as well as 3167?
Yes,
And was the information at that time that it was her grandfather's car that she was using?
that's correct.
It gives a little description of where she was last known to have been, perhaps?
Yes,
Okay. And then does it also include photographs of the vehicle, herself, and her child?
that's correct.
And obviously, this was a color photo or a color flyer that was done at that time. This is a copy of that, correct?
That's correct.
And once that poster was created, where did it go from there? Or what did you do?
At that point, what I did is I emailed that to several law enforcement agencies within Texas, namely within the Victoria, Texas area, as well as some of the law enforcement agencies, both state and federal, that are involved with the border protection within that area. There had been some information received of a possibility that Elizabeth might have been trying to travel out of the country. And so there was always a possibility that as you get closer towards some of those areas, especially Victoria, Texas, there's a possibility that's going down towards Corpus Christi and some of those border areas where it might have been easier to cross into Mexico. So that was at least one focus of ours, was to get that message down to those areas. What we do have within law enforcement is we have a way to send secured teletype messages to each other, but unfortunately that technology at this point doesn't allow for photographs of people and vehicles, and so it's one of those things that it's sort of hard for us to get a message and not be able to see a photo of a child and the person we're looking for. So that's why with this flyer, us being able to email it to them and then them disseminate it throughout their agencies internally, at least allowed officers to have a picture of a specific type of vehicle we're looking for, and of a specific person or people that we're looking for.
Now, moving to the next date of December 29th, 2009, did you conduct investigation at that time into an individual by the name of Tammy Smith?
Yes, I did.
And was she suspected to perhaps be involved in this investigation?
That is correct.
All right. And at that time, did you obtain information from her from open sources, which would include the internet, gathering information about her?
Yes,
Okay, as to
that is correct.
what type of work she conducted and other types of things she was involved in?
Correct.
All right. And during that investigation, did you receive, well, I'll move on from that. At that time, did you also update anyone else regarding the investigation? And let's...
Yes. Again, the secured system that I was speaking of earlier is referred to as NLETS, or that's the acronym that we refer to it as. And what we did is I updated that system. Earlier we had put out a bulletin to let law enforcement agencies know that, you know, we've got this situation developing in Tempe. Here are the two people that we're looking for, and here is the vehicle that we're looking for. And so as the investigation progressed, originally there was a court date that had not been missed. Since that time, the court date had been missed, and so we wanted to include that information in the NLETS file, so that law enforcement agencies were aware of that updated information when we put that out to them, if they came across Elizabeth Johnson or her vehicle or Gabriel.
Can you spell that acronym?
It's NLETS.
Now, at that time, did you also receive information that she may have perhaps posted something on her MySpace account?
Yes.
Okay, and what did you do in response to receiving that information?
In response to that, we were in contact with MySpace, and we wanted to find out what that information was. Because of the circumstances involved in this particular investigation, there was enough information to go to MySpace and request an emergency disclosure of information from them. They provided us with content of Elizabeth's MySpace account, including emails that had transpired between her and other people within the system that may not be viewable to the general public if they were to come across her initial screen page or face page. But once going into the system, having that access through MySpace, that's what they granted us, is to give us that information so that we could review that.
Okay, and was that done with the assistance of Detective Larson?
That's correct.
And at that time, did you review the information that MySpace had provided?
Yes, I did.
And you said that included messages that had been sent from her account.
That's correct.
Did you also do anything with regards to a Yahoo account?
Yes, I did.
And what did you do with that?
As we were investigating her MySpace account, we saw that in order to establish the MySpace account, you needed to provide an email address. And the email address that she had provided was one with a Yahoo suffix to it. And so in the event that she had communicated with people through her Yahoo account that wasn't affiliated with MySpace, we also wanted to see if there was anything there that may give us information as to where she is at or where Gabriel is at. And so the same thing, we contacted Yahoo and we asked them for specifically at first information just referenced to any attempted logins or any logins through her account. That was the initial information that we had just inquired about. Later on, we would inquire about specifics as to contents of her email account that's there. But at first, initially, we were just looking for any logins and anything that had been registered through her IP address or internet protocol.
Okay, and at that time, did you learn that she had logged in on December 21st in Richardson, Texas?
Yes.
Okay, and did you also learn that she had logged in on December 24th at the Quality Inn and Suites Fiesta Park in San Antonio?
That's correct.
Did you receive this information on or about the 30th of December 2009?
Yes.
All right. Now, on that date, did you also receive information that connected her with the use of an IP address in Miami Beach?
That is correct.
And was that also done with the assistance of Detective Larson?
Yes, it was.
Now, at that time, is that when you reviewed the contents of her MySpace account? Once you received the information back from MySpace?
Yes, once we received the information back from MySpace, that's when I reviewed the content of her account.
And subsequent to receiving the emergency access to the MySpace account, did you go back and receive official certification from MySpace regarding that account?
Yes, I did.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
I'm showing you what's marked as Exhibit 22. And do you recognize that exhibit?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And what is it?
This is a declaration of MySpace, the custodian of records. And the custodian of records has declared identifying herself and identifying that, yes, they have been in receipt of our emergency disclosure request and that the enclosed records were true and accurate. And that they've reviewed the records and basically it's their signing to it that that what they sent me was true and accurate to the account that we were asking for, the information that we were asking for.
And eventually you also sought to obtain the MySpace records of Tammy Smith, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And there's a certification contained in here regarding her records as well, correct?
That's correct.
The state moved... The state moves to enter evidence Exhibit 22.
Any objection?
No objection.
Exhibit 22 is admitted.
And for the record, Elizabeth Johnson's MySpace account user is at 915-24048.
Yes, it is.
Now I'm going to move to the date of December 31st, 2009. What did you do on that date?
If I could refresh my memory just a little bit. One of the things I had done on that date in the investigation is that by this point we had been informed that Elizabeth Johnson had been located. With that information, we were also informed that Elizabeth Johnson had been in possession of a GPS unit at the time that she was contacted. And we were given some initial information reference that GPS unit in terms of waypoints and in terms of other places that we were now starting to investigate. I guess at this point, at the time that Elizabeth Johnson had been contacted, she was not with Gabriel. And so now, at this point, the investigation sort of transitioned from us trying to locate Elizabeth in hopes that she had Gabriel to us now really focusing on backtracking as to where she had been in the extent that maybe that will assist us in determining where Gabriel is at now so that we can check his welfare.
And did your involvement in this investigation then move forward to the date of January 4th of 2010?
Yes, it did.
Okay, and on that date, were you asked to take on some additional responsibility in the case?
Yes, I was.
And what was that?
At this point, they had asked me to become a co-case agent with Detective Ramirez. At this point, with the information that we had, there was a possibility that Detective Ramirez was going to be out of state for a few days, and they would need someone else to at least be there at the office that can assist with assisting managing the case and being a case agent or someone responsible there if we needed immediate follow-up done at the time while she was out of state. Secondarily, there was a possibility that this investigation was transitioning into a homicide investigation. And so that was something that they wanted to make sure that at least a homicide investigator was working alongside.
And at that time, did you also continue to gather additional information regarding Tammy Smith?
Yes, I did.
And at that time, did you review MySpace information for Tammy Smith?
Yes, I did.
And did her MySpace information reveal that there were numerous inquiries about adopting children or surrogacy dating from 2008 to March of 2009?
That is correct.
On January 5th, 2010, did you receive additional information regarding Elizabeth Johnson's Yahoo account?
Yes, I did.
And what was that?
That information was the full disclosure. At first, I had mentioned that I just done an inquiry as to where she had logged in through that account, through the IP addresses of the places that she had been at. Now, at this time, once we were going back, we wanted to see everything. Maybe there was something else. Maybe there was an email from someone that gave us an indication as to where she had been at, what she had done. Again, we're trying to retrace her steps. So now at this point, what we did is we asked for all of the personal emails that Yahoo had from Elizabeth Johnson's Yahoo account. And so we were able to review all of those emails.
In particular, did you review a message in December of 2009, actually December 21st, 2009, regarding giving baby stuff away?
Yes, I did.
And did it give a phone number to call and a location of Tempe?
Yes, it did.
And was this from her account indicating she had baby things to give away?
That's correct.
On that date also, were you invited to listen into a phone call?
Yes, I was.
Okay, and perhaps this might be a good time to take a break, Your Honor.
Okay.
There's a while of testimony left and some recordings.
All right. We'll go ahead and take our afternoon break. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take about a 15-minute break. We'll be back probably close to 3:30. Until then, remember the admonition, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Let the record reflect the presence of the jury panel, the defendant counsel. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we left off with the testimony of Sergeant Thompson, and that's where we will pick back up. So, Ms. Ramuno, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Sergeant Thompson, we spoke earlier about the MySpace records that were collected in this case, correct?
That's correct.
You obtained the certifications. Did you have the opportunity to review what's in this folder?
Yes, I did.
Okay. May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
I'm showing you what's marked as Exhibit 122. And what does that folder contain?
This contains content from Elizabeth Johnson's MySpace account.
Your Honor, the state would move to enter into evidence at this time Exhibit 122.
You need to see it first?
No, no objection.
Okay, Exhibit 122 is admitted.
Permission to publish?
You may.
Now, in receiving documentation back from MySpace, did you receive a subscriber report regarding user number 915-24048?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and that indicates that that is the user number, and the person's name that's associated with that account is Elizabeth Johnson,
That's correct.
and she's registered in the United States,
Yes,
okay, in Arizona,
correct.
and with an email address of elizj05@yahoo.com,
That's correct.
and a vanity URL of elizj86,
Yes,
and it also indicates the IP address where this account was first established from,
that's correct.
as well as the date this account was first established.
Yes.
Now, in connection with this MySpace account, there are messages that are contained within this folder that are pertinent to this investigation, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and in particular, going chronologically on well, let's just take a look at this generally. Is this an example of what a message looks like that has been sent from or to this MySpace account?
Yes, in the format that it's received by us.
All right, and in particular on MySpace, there are different ways you can send messages, is that correct? There's a wall where you can post on,
Correct.
and the public can see that message that's on the wall, correct?
Right.
And then there's a message that you can send, which is like an email message within that account.
Yes.
All right. And is this an example of what would be a private email message that only the two users can see?
That's correct.
Okay, this would not be published on the wall of MySpace where the public can see it, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, up here in the left, there's a date of 12/11 of 2009.
Yes.
Okay, and does that indicate when this message was sent or received?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And it indicates from which number user, correct?
That's correct.
And in this case, this would be Elizabeth Johnson.
That's correct.
And in this case, it's sent to a user number identified by that number, correct?
That's correct.
Right. And did you in fact do, well, within this message, it does indicate that this belongs to somebody who has a username at least of Sassy Cassie?
Yes.
All right. And this RE is the message title that the person has put in for that message, correct?
That's correct.
So in particular, this is a message from Elizabeth to this user number, and it looks like it's in response to this message down here.
That's right.
All right. And it says, "Hey girl, call me, my new number is," and then it lists a number, and it says, "I gave the baby up for adoption."
Yes.
All right. And just so everyone is clear, this is the message that was sent, and this was the original message sent by the other user from here down.
Correct.
Okay. And here it looks like the date that original message was sent was April 4th of 2009.
That's right.
Okay, and here is a message dated December 13th of 2009.
Yes.
All right, and this is from user number identified as 292-43828.
That's correct.
And is that known to be Logan McQuarrie's?
Yes, it is.
All right. And this is sent to Elizabeth Johnson at that number there, correct?
That's correct.
All right. And could you read the content of this message?
The subject line that was typed in says, "Please read." And then the content of the message itself states, "I am sorry the way things are, but I think it's for the best. We tried and tried to make things work. Maybe it was me, maybe it was you. It was actually some of both. You will never know how much I really do love you, babe. This hurts me a lot. All I wanted to do when I saw you last was to hug and kiss you, but I knew I couldn't. This is hard for the both of us. Wish I could call and talk to you. I am feeling a lot of different feelings, but we can't. We need to spend some time not talking. You need to be strong, babe. I know you are a very strong person, and I know it might be hard at first, but we both need to be apart. We tried, but all we did was drag each other down. You can get your life back like you have always said you wanted, and relax and have some peace. I really don't want other people raising Gabe. I really want to try and take care of him by myself. I don't want to be with anyone else. I just want to work and take care of him. I love you so much, but at the same time, and then it's blanked, we couldn't keep living like that.
Now, the next message within this folder, does it indicate a date of December 15th of 2009 at 1:03 p.m.?
Yes, it does.
All right. And it is from Logan McQuarrie to Elizabeth Johnson, correct?
That's correct.
All right. Now, taking it down from the bottom here, just so we all understand the chronology of these messages, the first message down here where it says original message, that was the one that you just read, dated December 13th, 2009, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and that is all this text here. Then it looks like Elizabeth responded on December 15th at 8:31 p.m.
That's correct.
And that's this text here?
Yes.
Okay, could you read that text, please?
I understand completely. I just want the best for Gabe. That's all I want. He doesn't deserve to be in the middle of a custody battle. I am upset with you. You said all those horrible things about me. You called CPS and told them I neglected him. That was wrong, Logan. I would never tell horrible lies about you. You know I love and adore Gabriel and would never hurt him. He is my angel. It's spelled angle, but I'm assuming angel. You left me no choice but to consider adoption. I need to look for a job. If you aren't there to watch him, I have to find help somewhere else. We had talked about it many times, and I thought, even though it was tough, you agreed it would be best is we could not provide for Gabriel to give him up for adoption. Gabriel is what I want, but it's not about what I want. I want the best for him. He deserves a real family that is stable and emotional healthy. I will drop back child support charges on you and current ones, and the family is willing to keep an open adoption and let us visit and see Gabe. They want to help us both financially to get on our feet and get our lives together. I told them I am fine and just need them to pay my legal fees and to give you all the money so you can get their own place. They want to talk to you, but I have no number for you. They are good people. You should at least talk to them. You don't have to talk to me at all. We have been in a very unhealthy relationship and have hurt each other and been codependent on each other to make us happy, and it's unhealthy. I never realized how unhealthy our relationship was until I took those classes on Sunday I'm taking. Yes, we need to do our own way and go our separate ways. I still love you too, even though you said those horrible things about me and filed false charges on me. I have done the best for Gabriel. I always have and always will, even if that means giving him up. I forgive you. I just want this over with and go on with my life, and I don't wish you anything bad. I hope you get your life together as well and do good. I'm sorry.
And then it looks like this response up here from Logan is to that message. Could you please read Logan's message?
Please don't fight me on this. Let me take care of Gabriel. I can try and give him a good life, and you even said you can't take care of him right now. I want to see him so bad. Don't do this because you are mad at me. I can take care of him.
Okay, and then this next page here, dated 12/16 of 2009.
Correct.
Okay, we're going to start at the bottom, and it looks like down here, dated December 15, 2009, is the message that you just read. Please read. Please don't fight me on this. Let me take care of Gabriel. I can try and give him a good life.
Yes.
Okay, and then this here is Elizabeth's response to that message.
Yes.
Okay, and could you read her response to that message dated December 16th, 2009 at 6:05 p.m.?
I can't take of him right now because you don't support us or help out in any way. You leave, abandon us, and don't contribute. You never have. I have paid for everything by myself. I will and am going to fight this. I am fighting for full custody. You may see him whenever you wish. All you have to do is call, which you have not done. The court will see this and account for it. He has been returned to me. He is in my custody, and I am taking care of him and will continue to. You have no right to take my son away from me when I have cared for him by myself financially. I have made sure he has everything he needs. You have to pay child support and back child support for the last 7 months while you lived off me and used me to take care of our son and you. You came and went as you please. You filed a false CPS neglect case, and it has been closed. You will be held accountable for false charges. I have gathered my proof and have a lawyer that will represent me and fight for me. Plus, I am not even sure you are the father. Yes, I slept with Gary, Robert knows, and another guy. I have already asked the court for you to get a DNA test. Then there's a blank. I have printed out your criminal history record for the judge. You are not able to take care of Gabe. You don't have a car, a home, or are you able to provide him with health insurance? And then skipping down, it's blanked again. And he's seen you have done neither for this child, that you are doing this to get back at me, and are scared to pay child support. And then there's another blank. I have that letter to give to the judge as well, plus a doctor note saying I was never diagnosed in my entire medical history with bipolar, just mild postpartum, which I took care of promptly and responsibly. I have taken Gabe and myself to all our doctor appointments. I have a couple of letters, recommendation from professionals accounting for my good mothering. I have a certificate from the pregnancy center I attended. I am not mad at you. I am not doing this to get back at you. I am taking care of my son, and if the DNA tests say you're the father, you will pay child support you owed me. Plus, you owe the state as well for proving for Gabriel. I have good support systems built up to help me with Gabriel so I can look for a job, and then he will be in daycare. You cannot take my baby from me. He is not even yours, and I have been a great mother. I have done everything for him. What have you done?
And then could you please read Logan's response dated December 16th, 2009 at 11:07 a.m.
I knew it. You had truest issues and got mad at me, and then it's blanked. And you didn't even know if I was the father, and you couldn't truest, and I'm assuming from the context that it's trust, yourself. I never once cheated on you, and you slept with multiple guys. That is messed up, Elizabeth. I love Gabe to death. He is my son. Thanks for making me cry. I trusted you. Gave you every paycheck I had to take care of you and Gabe. I took care of Gabe more than you say. You just always put him in his room for hours because you didn't want to hear him fussing. I don't care what a DNA test says. He is still my son. I can't believe you always talking about trust, and you're the one that was lying the whole time. All I wanted was for Gabe to have a mom and dad together, but you kept pushing me away and saying I wasn't good for anything. Why wouldn't you tell me all this stuff before? Were you afraid I wouldn't love you still? I was the one that kept trying. You just shut me out.
And then the next message is dated December 22nd of 2009.
Correct.
And this is a message from Elizabeth to Logan McQuarrie.
Yes, it is.
And could you please read the content of this message?
You don't care about me or us or our family. You only care about yourself. You treated me like your enemy instead of the woman you love and made your son. You were so quick to put yourself as single and take my pick down to start your new life and ditch me. So that's what I'm going. And then it stops there abruptly.
And then that is cut off in the message itself, correct?
That's correct.
And now we have a message dated December 30th of 2009 at 6:49 a.m.
Yes.
Okay, and is this a message from Tammy Smith to Elizabeth Johnson?
Yes, it is.
All right, and the first part of the message here looks like it's a response to a message that Elizabeth had sent to Tammy on December 29th of 2009?
That's correct.
Okay, and can you read the initial email from December 29th, 2009?
And actually, just for clarification, down at the bottom on the second to last line, that would be the original message that started the thread.
Okay.
There will be,
Okay, so just for clarification, the original message is from Tammy Faye, which is Tammy Smith,
correct,
to Elizabeth on December 29th at 7:51 p.m.
correct.
And then Elizabeth responds to that here.
That's correct.
At 6:43 p.m.
That's correct.
Okay, and could you please read the content of that?
Tammy, I will never come forward. Yes, what I said was wrong, but I wanted him to hurt like he hurt me, so that's why I said all that. Me and Gabriel are fine, in fact, great. I just got a full-time job under a fake name, and the owner is very understanding of my situation and is willing to help me get new IDs and stuff. I cannot let you or anyone else know where I am. Just know I am getting lots of help. I am very smart and resourceful, and that I am one of the most competent people you will ever meet. I have always taken care of myself by myself as long as I can remember. I can't call in fear of phone records. I am ever worried this email can be traced to where I am, so I probably won't email again. But I had to let you know we are all right because I know you must be worried sick, and I am so sorry for that, I really am. You and Jack are such good people.
And then Tammy Smith responds at 6:49 on December 30th, 2009.
Yes.
And that response indicates, thank you so much for letting me know you're okay. I miss that little angel. I knew you could never hurt him. A mother has to really love her child enough to give him up to a good family in order to give him a more meaningful life.
That's correct.
And then also within this folder is contained a screenshot of Elizabeth Johnson's account, correct?
Yes.
And this was a screenshot of her status, well, I'm sorry, of her page on December 29th of 2009, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, and I'm just going to zero in. We've had some testimony about this before. And I believe you, in your earlier in your testimony, had indicated you had received information that she had posted something on MySpace on the 29th, correct?
That's correct.
And is this the posting that you were referring to?
This is,
Okay. And is this a picture of Elizabeth Johnson here?
yes, it is.
Okay, and what is the post that she made at that time?
Her profile post or her statement at that time is, "Kiss my ass, suckus."
All right, and the mood that she posts?
Adventurous.
And this indicates it was posted 5 hours ago.
That's correct.
Thank you. Now, going back to the date of January 5th of 2010, you had testified earlier that you had been invited to sit in on a phone call that was going to take place.
That's right.
And can you tell us a little bit about that?
The Tempe Police Department had been notified that Elizabeth Johnson was now in Florida, and that she was scheduled to be calling her grandfather that afternoon. And her grandfather was back in the Tempe area. We had been told that a representative from the media was going to be there, and that they were going to audio record that interview and audio record that phone conversation and attempt an interview at that time with Elizabeth from where she was in Florida. And later on that evening, that news station had invited us as the police department to come out to one of their vans and listen to that phone call in its entirety.
Right. And was this radio or the television station involved KPHO or Channel 5?
That's correct.
All right. And did you in fact go out and observe or listen to that phone call?
Yes, I did.
Did you also obtain a recording of it at that time?
Yes, I did.
Now, the participants in this conversation, and it sounds like initially were going to be Robert Johnson and Elizabeth Johnson, but did it turn out to be more individuals?
Yes, it did.
Who else participated in this conversation?
In addition to Robert Johnson, her grandfather, and Elizabeth, it was the newspaper, or the television reporter, as well as both Tammy and Jack Smith were present there during that phone call.
And everyone but Elizabeth was present in the state of Arizona, correct?
That is correct.
And so Elizabeth was calling from Florida to her grandfather's house, and everyone was on one end here, while she was on the other end in Florida.
That's correct.
And it will become apparent in the recording, but she was actually in jail in Florida at that time, correct?
Yes, she was.
She had been found and taken at that time in Florida.
And that's correct.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
I'm showing you what's marked as Exhibit 134. And what does that contain?
This contains a CD with a label on it indicating that this is a Channel 5 phone call.
The state moves to enter into evidence Exhibit 134 at this time.
Any objection?
No objection.
Exhibit 134 is admitted.
Permission to publish, Your Honor.
You may. A couple things we're going to do while you're getting ready to publish that. Ladies and gentlemen, Kim's going to pass out a transcript for you so you can follow along. That's always easier. So she's going to send that down to you. A couple things about what you're going to hear, and this applies to virtually every recording we play, almost in every case. You're potentially going to hear some choppiness. When we play a recording, in most cases, we have to take out parts of it because parts of it aren't relevant, or we have to take it out for other reasons. So you're going to hear some choppiness, which may sound weird, but it's because we've moved around from point to point in the recording to properly present it to you. So don't worry about the choppiness and the transition going forward. So let me wait and make sure we've got all this passed out, and I think we do. I think we're ready to go ahead and publish it. Ms. Ramuno, so you may proceed to publish.
I cooperated with the FBI. I told them everything. So, you see, this is the thing that it's weird because I know you better than that. I know that we have contact practically every day. Sometimes 5 times a day. I didn't know where you lived. I didn't have email. You're right. You didn't know our phone number, but we talked a lot, and it's weird that you didn't even have their phone number, to even call and say, hey, is he doing okay? I felt very pressured and rushed for the decision.
You don't know
I told the
these people's
FBI
names.
that.
You don't know their names, their phone number, their address, nothing?
I know their names, and I told the FBI all that.
But you said earlier you only know their first name. You know their full name.
I don't remember. Can you tell us their first names at least? I just remember her name was Cheryl. Cheryl? What was his name? You don't remember? I don't remember.
And you don't have an address or anything on these people?
No, I didn't have an address for Tammy either, and I thought that was normal. I thought closed adoption people don't want you knowing where they live. Okay. Well, I don't know what to say. I guess it's a matter of the police finding the baby. All I know is that, I know you want him safe with a family and not with the father, but if they can't find the baby, they can, find him and do whatever they want with him. Wait, they can what? I said, I'm past that. I mean, I don't care if Logan has him or not. They can find him and, do their investigation. Mm-hmm.
They can find Gabriel?
If they're doing their investigation, that's what they should be doing.
So are you worried at all if he's dead or alive?
No, I'm not. Is it because you think these people are really good people? I mean, how long did you spend with them? I've known them a couple days. Okay, so you spent some time with them over a couple days' time? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I thought you said earlier you just met them at the park and then handed over your baby.
No, not that day. They came to my hotel the next day. I did not hand over the baby at the park. Did you go out anywhere with them? No, they came to my hotel and they were seen at my hotel, so everything I'm saying is... Oh, good, so they were seen at the hotel? Yes. After I did the investigation, I was seen by the hotel people, the people who worked there, or the people who were staying there. Okay, right, I did hear something about that, or something about Six Flags. I read something about Six Flags and things like that. That's the area. Okay. Okay, so hopefully they'll know. Do you remember what kind of car they drove? No, I don't. I was an emotional wreck. I don't. I made a hasty decision, and I thought it was okay. Do you regret your decision for? Yes, I do.
Elizabeth, this is Jack again. One thing I will tell you is
Collections and rehabilitation.
you need to do everything you can to try and help find out who these people are, because if now you're under the situation that if those people never come forward, you're gonna take a big fall for this. So you need to do everything within your power, because I'm going to tell you something, Elizabeth, and you know I care for you, and I care an enormous amount for Gabriel.
Yeah, it's hard to believe me, but my story's already been corroborated.
Okay, so I understand the fact that your story's been corroborated, but he hasn't been seen, so therefore there's still the chance. It can't be corroborated unless they meet the people. All it says is you met with some people. I mean, that could be corroborated, sure, but until these people are found, who knows what? Is it corroborated that you handed him to them? Is it corroborated they went home and again?
Do you remember your name?
Do you understand how it just doesn't make any sense to the average person that you, as this baby's mom, would hand over your child to?
Oh, I thought it happens every day. Women make these decisions all the time when they feel they can't do it on their own and they're in a corner. They do it all the time. They hand their children over. I did it before with Abby.
Not like what you're saying. I mean, they usually go to an agency or they go to a hospital. They go to
No, they're private adoptions. They're in the back of the newspapers all the time.
So in your mind, you really, truly felt like you did the right thing by handing over your child to a perfect stranger.
Absolutely. I did that with Tammy, and everyone commended me. I don't understand what the problem is.
But that's not private adoption.
I understand how you're referencing it to, but it was a private adoption. I really understand that's how it worked. That's how I understood that it worked.
So you have no way of finding these people at all?
Not in jail, no.
If you were to get out of jail, would you be able to find them?
I don't know.
So in other words, if you
maybe I could try to find the car to prove some sort of my innocence. People are saying things about the car. I can't believe the car hasn't been found. I mean, are they even doing an investigation?
Well, if they are, they're not saying much. They're basically what's being said right now is that you aren't cooperating with them.
That's not true. I've completely cooperated with them.
And so if you were to get released from jail and be taken back to San Antonio,
I could at least track down the car and prove that and where I was. And
does it sound rational in your mind to know that you can locate your car versus your own child?
Collection and
rehabilitation. Does it sound rational in your mind that you're able to say that you can tell people where your car is versus where your child is?
Yes, that sounds very rational because under the circumstances, that's how it is.
I think your grandfather wants to just say something quickly to you.
Hey, Elizabeth, I don't know whether you realize, and probably I come across that I'm more interested in my damn car than in your son. But the fact remains, that's a legal responsibility of mine. This thing is running around with keys in it somewhere, and I am liable for it. That is my concern as far as the car. And you've told me all kinds of stories. Now tell me one more story for the last time. Where was that car the last time you saw it? Do you understand my liability, my assets, my estate? That car running around in my name is a deadly weapon. Now, if it's possible, I would like to have it back. Does that make sense?
Of course it makes sense.
Can you give me any peace of mind that that car will not come back to bite me in the butt?
I don't understand how it would bite you in the butt.
Somebody's driving it and they kill somebody, or yeah, it's insured, but I'm worth a hell of a lot more than that car insurance policy is.
I don't know. You report it as stolen. I don't know how these things work.
So you can't tell me, you can't give me any assurance that that car is not going to be a problem down the road.
I don't know what I can tell you. I'm in jail. I don't know anything.
Where was the car the last time you saw it?
San Antonio.
Where at in San Antonio?
I parked it outside of Super 6 Motel, right across from the bus station.
Oh, okay.
I mean, there has to be records that it's been towed or something.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you?
Yes, I
That's the last time you saw the car, was across at the Motel 6, across the street from the bus station?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So, who's next? Well, I think we're pretty well wrapped up here, Elizabeth, unless anybody else has something to say. Tammy, you got anything else?
No, I'm just devastated that...
Anyway, honey, I wish you the best, and I think you're going to have to come clean on this one. Okay, babe?
Come clean on what? I told everybody everything.
Well, you haven't produced the baby.
Huh?
Hey, let me ask you real simple.
He's not in my custody.
Can you find him? Yes, no.
If the FBI can't find him, how do you think I can find him?
Well, you're the one that gave him away.
Yeah, I know that.
Can she draw pictures of these people? She's an artist.
Could you give sketches of these people to a...
They offered me that, but they haven't done anything about it.
Were they white, Hispanic, black?
White. I've told them all of these details.
Okay, well, I just wanted to know for my own education. Okay, Elizabeth, well, you have a good night, and we'll talk at you later. Bye, honey. I love you. Gee, otherwise, it's a complex bunch of lies in my life. I'm really...
I haven't ever thought of that. Oh my God. Well, that's the thing, like I told you, how can you, run when there's TV and internet, and like we talked about, back in the day, in the 70s, maybe people could run, but not today, not in these days. I didn't realize that. Now, are you wanting to do an interview with News Channel 5? Because let me tell you, there's some really, really ugly stuff being said about you. And it's important that people know the truth. And because of the ugly things said about you, obviously it trickles down to us, Yeah, it's unfair because I can't even defend myself. He's just saying whatever he wants to say. Yeah. So do you mind if they record this so that they know what the truth is? I don't mind. You don't mind? Okay, cool. Well, obviously, the police have been interrogating us, and we have, helped them with everything that we can by giving them all the truth, as much truth as there is. We've also told them, obviously, the truth about the good things about you and everything that you have done to try to, keep custody of Gabriel. We've told them, all about the threats and all that from Logan. Anyway, I just, obviously we need to know where the baby is, and I'm not sure exactly what you're wanting from me, but, without the baby, this is the thing. Because it could be so simple right now. It's basically a custody issue, which you wouldn't, probably wouldn't even be in jail right now if they knew where the baby was. None of the charges aren't real because, I had custody. He's probably saying that I didn't. Well, I'll tell you what happened. When we told you, you've got to come to court, you've got to come to court, just make it to court. You can come, live with us, whatever. We'll do whatever we can, get an attorney. Served, but, Right. So that day when he went to court, and you told me don't even send your attorney. Remember, you sent me a text, don't send your attorney because I'm going to run. So at that point, the judge, because of what you said in the text, you said you killed him. Because of that, the judge automatically gave him custody that day. Oh, I understand now. Yeah. Has nobody told you that already? Oh my God, no one's told me anything. Nobody's been talking to you and interrogating you? Nobody's been talking to me at all. Really? Nobody's going to be a lawyer. I mean, I just had an investigation, and I told them, what I did, that I gave up the baby for adoption in San Antonio, and, that was it. And no one's told me anything of what's going on. Really? And you told them that you gave the baby up for adoption in San Antonio. Okay, or maybe it was the 21st, and it just... I can't believe you don't have
Incoming telephone call from Dade County Corrections and Rehabilitation.
It's okay, it does that every... Oh, it does? Oh, okay. So that is the case as of now, that if they don't find the baby, it's basically, it's not even really a kidnapping, because you are the mother. Even though they gave him the custody on Monday, you still have rights as a mother. Still and all today, you still have rights. I didn't do anything wrong. Right. I mean, if he won custody, whatever, I had no idea of that. Right. No one told me anything, and they had ways of calling me and letting me know what was going on. I know. And Logan had your phone number the whole time, right? Yes. And knew where you were the whole time, right? Yes. Okay.
Did you know him?
And so when we asked you to come back here, did we try really hard to get you to come back here? Yes. Okay. And did we offer to get you an attorney and help you to keep your custody? And so Logan was pretty much off and on over, I'm going to let him adopt. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Okay. Because he's trying to tell everybody that he had no clue. This was all a secret. And yeah. So the world out here is thinking that you're this huge monster, and me and Jack are we plotted some kind of a kidnapping with you, and, oh my God. Yeah. So, why isn't news allowed to say things that aren't true? You know what? I don't know. Shouldn't someone be sued for that? That's like defamation of character. I don't know. So that's why they're here right now, to find the true story. Because all they have is Logan's story. Yeah, but that's all they're going by. They're not going by the evidence. Hey, let me ask you this too. Yeah, they're just finally starting to dig the evidence, and they're just barely starting to look at his record. I talked to the FBI as well, and they said everything that I told them corroborates with what they found out, with all the things the hotel was telling them about the adoption. Everything I said was completely, I wasn't making it up. I mean, the hotels were verifying everything I was telling them, my story. So I don't know how this is being looked at any other way than... I don't know where the car is. I dumped it because I knew they'd be looking for it. Well, where did you dump it at? In San Antonio. But do you remember where? I don't know, off the interstate. I thought for sure that someone would find it and it would be reported stolen. I mean, I left the keys in the ignition and rolled down the window and took a bus to Florida. I thought for sure they'd find the car. I can't believe they haven't found it yet. Maybe. I thought for sure they'd find it yet. They're doing a proper investigation. Yeah. Okay, so, and how did you meet this family that is adopting the baby, or that you gave the baby for adoption to? I met them in San Antonio. I already told the FBI, the police, everybody, everything. But nobody knows this. I mean, the media doesn't. Maybe the FBI is keeping it to themselves. All the reports and everything, and it's been verified by the hotel, who's been seeing people come to my house, not my house, but my hotel. Like, they've done an investigation, and they said everything that I've said, they already knew about, and that they just needed to hear the truth from me. I mean, everything they said, I cooperated, and all that. So I don't understand why things completely opposite in Arizona. Yeah. Did you tell them where the baby was? I told them I didn't know. I gave the baby away. And you gave him to a family, but you don't know the family's name? I don't remember the last name. I just remember the woman's first name. Well, how did you meet them? Did you meet them at the hotel? Or did you meet them, like, somewhere else? I just met them in San Antonio. While I was out with the baby one day. Do I know these people? No. And I told them that. They kept asking me that too. Or do these people know me at all? No. Or Jack? No, I don't think so. I wouldn't imagine so, no. Now, are you wanting to regain custody of Gabriel? That's a possibility. I don't know. I mean, right now, it is a possibility. I believe what's hold on that thing is time. What's underneath thing? What's going on? Oh, also, hold on. Do you think that the baby's alive? Yes. Okay. And you think he's safe? Yes, I do. Did this family have any children? No, they didn't. So they were just a husband and wife? Yes. Well, I mean, I know that you were very selective in giving the baby to us, and you and Logan talked about it for 7 months. And, you know, you researched me on my website, and you guys thought a lot about it. And when you finally decided to give the baby, you know, to us, at that point, you know, we spent a long time talking and stuff. Did you at least spend a long time talking with these people, or why did you just decide to give them to them? Give them to? It was pretty much at the same time. I mean, I didn't research you. I didn't go on the website. I didn't know you had a website. Oh, I thought you. I just remembered you, and I had your number still, and I called you. Okay. And I decided that would be best. So, what are your plans from here? My plans are to come back to Arizona and clear all this mess up, and this is ridiculous. All of these charges are false, and it's not fair. I need to be represented fairly. Well, the only thing that's by running, I mean, I just wanted to get away from him. He wouldn't leave me alone. He wants to ruin my life and punish me, and he won't let me go. I just want to get away from him, but I guess I can't do that. Did he threaten you? I mean, you were going to come back to us. Did he threaten you and cause you not to come back to us? Like, not to come back to Arizona? No, it seemed like he wanted me to run, or he pushed me to run. That's what I'm saying. He planned, you know, he did this, he had it all planned out with him and his father. I mean, I think that he really knew how I am, that I run, I get scared, and I run, and I think he knew I do that, and he'd use that against me, which he has, and I really just screwed myself and make myself look bad. Right, that's what he told us, that if he pushed you, you would run, and we begged him. I feel it. Yeah, we begged him not to threaten you. He knows me, and he knew I would run, and now he'd use it against me, saying it's kidnapping, and now, you know, all this other shit he's using against me. So tell me the things that he told you about you kidnapping the baby and what was going to happen to you. And because of that, did that make you want to run more? Yeah, it did. I was actually thinking about coming back, but after, you know, he was harassing you and harassing my neighbors and friends and harassing and threatening my grandfather and telling my grandfather you better report the car stolen, or he's going to get in trouble by the police, just threatening everybody, not just me. It's just like, I wanted to get away from it. Right. And we were wanting you to come back here, and we were going to help you through court, right? Yeah. Okay. Were we trying to steal the baby from Logan? No. So Logan knew all about this. The baby whenever he wanted. He never made one attempt to see the baby. Yeah. Just when I left, he made a big deal out of it. When he knew I was in a town, he decided to take advantage. Yeah. Now, I want this to be behind you, too. We want it to be behind us, my God. This is how the FBI says that it can be behind you. They have to, literally, like I told you before, when we were trying to get you to come back, if you can at least show it, or this family, if they can at least show one police officer, and it has to be a police officer, an FBI agent, somebody. Yeah. Wait, what'd you say? It says I gave him away, and my story's already been verified. I know, but they have to look at his body. They have to look at his body and see that he's alive and well and breathing. My story is cooperating with the FBI's investigation. No, they don't take my word for it. The baby's not in my custody. They have to find him. Just because I stepped up because I wanted to get back in and hurt him. I mean, this is just... I know, I have that on the test. It's a normal thing that people say. Well, it's not normal. It's absolutely not normal when you say you... I mean... My friends have said that before. I've heard it said before. I've heard it said all the time. That's just one of those things that, you know, a mother can't say that ever, ever, ever. I think, you know, I mean, I would never even say that I hurt my child in any way, shape, or form. You know, that's something that you can't say, Elizabeth. You know, been abused, and I know. You're not in your right state of mind, you don't, you know. The news station would like to ask you a couple questions. Is that okay? Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Elizabeth, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. You're a little faint.
I'm going to walk a little closer. So why would you say to Logan that you killed the baby if you did?
Because he had ruined my life and he hurt me and I wanted to hurt him, and that was the only thing I could say that would hurt him. I understand that now. I didn't at the time. I mean, I was emotionally a wreck. I was just completely out of my mind and just upset because he just completely ruined my life and he pushed me to run away. And
But do you understand what Tammy is saying to you about the fact that it's just not a good idea for any mother to make that kind of statement?
Well, of course it's not a good idea, but we're human. We make mistakes and we say things we don't mean, and we don't realize that it can, we can be held accountable for them.
How can you be sure that your baby's alive?
Because when I left him with these people, I trusted them.
Why?
What do you mean, why? I believe in my heart they're good people.
I mean, but did they give you any reason to believe that? Because you've been talking with Tammy and Jack, and you've been, basically, they've been extending their help to you. They've been trying to look out for the best interest of you and Gabriel. What was it about these people that made you say they are responsible enough to have my baby?
They reached out to me, and they seemed like they cared.
And you found them how?
I met them in San Antonio.
But, was this at a bar? Was this at the hotel? I mean, how did you meet them?
Was it where?
How did you meet them? I mean, was this, at a rest stop, at a bar, at a hotel? I mean, how does a conversation like this happen?
They approached me and they came up to me. I was out alone with the baby at the park.
And they approached you and said what?
I was upset. I was crying, and I've been approached before in the same situation with Tammy, and they just said, "Is everything okay?" And I was like, "I don't know what I'm gonna do," and I was just a wreck, and they were just reaching out to me and offering their help and just listening, and I was just crying like crazy.
Well, that's how we met in the what do you call it, the airport.
And I'm just asking. Just out of curiosity, I mean, was that, with them, perfect strangers approaching you like that in the park, was that enough for you to just turn your baby over?
Yeah, because they were a couple, and I know how much people who don't have their own children just want a baby, and they can't have their own babies, and I just had a good experience with Tammy, and I didn't feel any reason to feel anything that wasn't right.
Elizabeth, does this sound... is this making sense to you in your mind? Does it sound normal to you to have a mom just hand over their baby like that to someone they don't know?
Excuse me, I didn't hear that last question.
Does it sound normal in your mind for a mom to hand over their baby to people that they don't know just because they know?
Yeah, because I did it before and no one had a problem with it. Everyone commended me and thought I did such a great thing.
So, in other words, you really don't know if your son is alive or not.
I know that he is.
How?
I believe that he is.
You believe that he is, but you don't know for a fact that your son is alive.
I mean, I'm in jail. How could I know anything?
Right now, because you said you killed your son, because you don't know where he is.
I wanted him to leave me alone.
I understand, but hear me out. You sent a text message that said you killed your son. You are telling us now you don't know who has him or where he is.
I did the same thing with giving away the baby to Tammy, and everyone, no one had a problem with it. Everyone thought it was such a good thing and commended me, and I don't understand what the problem is now.
You really don't understand that there's a problem with the fact that you don't know who has your child right now and if he's alive or well?
I mean, when you give up your child for adoption, you don't really know where the people live or anything.
Why didn't you, if you were in such dire straits, why didn't you just take the baby to a police station? Or why didn't you call Tammy and Jack and say, you know what, I can't handle this. You're going to have to help me here and leave the baby.
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about a lot of things. I didn't know what to do.
So you didn't think that, here I am in San Antonio, Texas, I'm stressed out. I should just go to a police station and leave my baby there and walk away at that point?
I did think about that.
Well, why didn't you do it?
Because I was afraid I was going to get arrested for kidnapping.
Who told you that?
Logan.
basically you were on the ledge and Logan pushed you off.
Yes.
That doesn't sound. Did it sound like he wanted his child back, or?
No, he never made one attempt to see him the whole time. I had him by myself. He never made one attempt, one phone call. He knew where I was. He had my cell phone number. He never called to ask how me or the baby was doing. He was only, he was doing things at court. He didn't care. I mean, maybe he's pretending to care now, but I really don't believe he cared because he really just after me and pushing me off the ledge instead of just being civil.
Elizabeth, if you already gave your baby away and you don't know where he is, why are you still pulling Tammy and Jack into this? I mean, right now this is
into it.
Well, I mean, if you're still contacting them and you're still giving them the hope that they could be the parent of Gabriel.
No, I haven't done that at all. How have I done that?
No, she hasn't done that.
But so are you comfortable with the fact that you may never see your kid again?
No, I'm not comfortable with that. But that's the decision you make when you give up your child.
Now, let me ask you, why do you want to give your child up for adoption? Why wouldn't you want the dad to have the baby? Why wouldn't you want Logan to have his son?
Because I believe he's a very ugly, controlling person, and he's not capable. He's a felon. He's not capable of taking care of the child. He's being supported by his own father, and he just wants to make things ugly. I don't want the child to be in the middle of the ugly custody dispute, and it already started off so ugly, and he's just going to make the child miserable, and he's just trying to make everyone that has anything to do with me, the mother, miserable.
And you really felt like giving your baby away to perfect strangers was the right thing?
I did.
Elizabeth, this is Jack. How are you?
Hi, I'm all right.
Here's the long and the short of this whole thing. Without the baby, because of what you said,
yeah.
We get a telephone call from Dade County Corrections and Rehabilitation.
You have any way, if you know any way that you can identify even where
I have. I've talked to the FBI. I've cooperated. I've told them everything.
So why are they saying then that you aren't cooperating?
I did. I told them everything. I was there until 3 in the morning with them.
You have 60 seconds left on this call.
Any questions?
So, do you know where the car is?
It's in San Antonio. I left it there.
And you told the police this?
I didn't talk to the police. I talked to the FBI.
So, what, I mean,
Now, I'm going to stop the recording here, Detective, because I believe it becomes apparent at some point that you're in the car with the somebody named Sergio, correct? You're in a van listening to this?
That's correct.
Okay.
And there's a technician.
You actually asked him to start the interview over again from the beginning to listen to it, correct?
That's correct.
All right. And, okay, as far as your involvement that day then, did you obtain the recording of this and then impound it at the police station?
Yes, I did.
Okay. May I have one moment, Your Honor?
You may. We included some extraneous stuff at the end right there, so that's where we wanted to end the transcript. So that was the end of the recorded call. As I told you, we sometimes have additional stuff. If you could pass the transcript to, let's say, this end, and Kim's going to come collect it. Are we at a good transition time in terms of the end of the day, or you have another few minutes that you can do it?
I can finish up in a few minutes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Detective, the very next day then, on January 6, 2010, did you receive a box of evidence from the Miami Beach Police Department?
Yes, we did.
All right. And was that mailed to you directly from Miami Beach Police Department, actually the FBI in connection with Miami Beach Police Department?
That's correct.
Okay, and you took that evidence and impounded it at the Tempe Police Department?
Yes, I did.
Okay, in particular, was there a backpack that was found with items inside?
Yes.
And was there also a Magellan Roadmate GPS?
Yes, there was.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
I'm showing what's marked as Exhibit 130. Was this the Magellan Roadmate GPS?
Yes, it is.
Right. The state moves to enter in evidence at this time, Exhibit 130.
Any objection?
Take a moment, Judge.
You may. Can you take a look at it?
No objection, Judge.
Exhibit 130 is admitted.
Was there also within there a Nikon Coolpix camera?
Yes, there was.
Okay, and there was evidence taken off of that camera, correct? Photographs?
That's correct.
Was there also a Motorola cell phone, a QA4 Evoke cell phone?
Yes.
Okay. May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
I'm showing you what's marked as Exhibit 131. Is this the cell phone that was found?
Yes, it is.
Okay, the state moves to enter into evidence Exhibit 131.
Any objection?
Objection.
Exhibit 131 is admitted.
And did you assist, well, did Detective Bailey assist you in looking through this telephone?
It was Detective Welling, I
I'm
believe.
sorry,
Yes.
Detective Welling.
Yes.
Okay, because you had to manually look through the phone and take photographs of each screen to document the text messages and call log, correct?
That's correct.
May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
I'm showing what's marked as Exhibit 128. Do you recognize what's within that exhibit?
Yes, I do.
And what is within that exhibit?
These are photographs from the phone, as well as photographs of all the screenshots from within the phone, including text messaging.
Right. And once you took the photographs of all the messages and call logs that were on that phone, did you do anything with that information?
Yes, I did.
And what did you do with that?
What I did is I created an Excel spreadsheet that would allow us to look at the content of those messages, the dates and times that the phone registered those messages being sent or received, and just an easier way for us to look at everything in terms of what the content was from that phone. So what I did is I created a spreadsheet with all of that information on it.
And I'm showing you what's marked as Exhibit 129. Do you recognize what's within that exhibit?
Yes, I do.
And what is that?
This is the Excel spreadsheet that I had created that lists all the data that we had uncovered from the phone.
And just for clarification, what's contained within Exhibit 129 is not necessarily all of the content of the phone, but just the content during the relevant time period, correct?
That's correct.
Because there were messages that dated back to September of 2009, correct?
That's correct.
The state moves to enter into evidence at this time Exhibits 128 and 129.
Any objection?
No objection.
Exhibits 128 and 129 are admitted.
Permission to publish Exhibit 129 briefly, Your Honor?
You may.
And Sergeant Thompson, just to explain for the jury what we're looking at here, this is the spreadsheet you created, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and you in fact indicated who the sender was, the recipient, date, time, and what the text contained?
Correct.
And you did it in a chronological order according to how it appeared on the phone, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and so these first few messages are between Elizabeth and Logan McQuarrie on the date of 12/27.
Yes.
And then we go down to messages to Malcolm Phipps that we've determined that that was his phone number at the time,
That's correct.
and the various messages she sent to him.
Yes.
Okay, as well as there are ones included to Tammy Smith.
That's correct.
Okay. And then I believe a little later on in the exhibit, we have the call history.
Yes.
Okay, and so it indicates the call history per phone number, or the phone number that was called, whether it was dialed, missed, or answered, and what date.
That's correct.
Okay, and then there's also an entry here for if the owner of the phone has been identified. For example, this phone number here was identified as that being of Annalisa.
That's correct. To the extent of the date that I had created that Excel spreadsheet and we had that knowledge at that time.
Okay, you created this back then, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and so what you're saying is more information may have been developed after that point?
There's a possibility, but at that time, if we had that information as to who that phone belonged to, we would include it.
on January 9th and 10th, 2010, did you prepare for an investigation or for a presentation of the San Antonio Police Department?
Yes, I did.
And did that document all the information you had about the investigation at that time?
Yes, it did. It synopsized everything that we had done to that point.
Did you then travel to San Antonio?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and on January 11th, 2010, did you meet with San Antonio investigators from the FBI and or the San Antonio Police Department about what information they had obtained at that time?
Yes, I did.
And specifically, did you meet and observe the items that the FBI had obtained from Elizabeth Johnson's hotel room and car?
That's correct.
May I approach the exhibit table now?
You may.
Now, there were numerous items that were found both in the hotel room and in the vehicle, correct?
Yes.
And they included female personal items, clothing, baby items and clothing.
Correct.
Okay. There was a car seat that was in the car,
That's
found in the
correct.
car. And in addition, there was a journal that was found,
Yes.
correct? And did you have an opportunity to view the contents of that journal?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and was there one particular page of that journal that stood out to you at that time?
Yes.
Okay, and may I approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
I'm showing you Exhibit 135. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, I do.
And what is that?
This is a Xerox copy of that journal page that caught my eye.
Okay. Move to enter into evidence Exhibit 135.
Any objection?
No objection.
Exhibit 135 is admitted.
Commissioner Publisher.
You may.
And in particular, did this catch your eye because of the name listed at the top
That's correct.
of Craig Cherry?
That's correct.
And why was that important?
At this point in the investigation, we were starting to learn that there was an individual who had been identified as Craig Cherry, and it was learned that he is the cousin of Tammy Smith.
Okay, and was his name placed on a court document indicating he could be a potential father of Gabriel Johnson?
That is correct.
And then on January 12, 2010, did you actually present to the San Antonio Police Department?
Yes, I did.
Now, after that time, you did a number of other investigative tasks, but they primarily related to Tammy Smith at that point, correct?
That's correct.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Cross-examination?
No questions, Judge.
Does the jury have any questions for Sergeant Thompson before we let him go? Doesn't look like it. May this witness be excused, Ms. Ramuno?
Yes, thank
Okay,
you.
please be seated, everyone. Anybody need to put anything on the record?
Not from the stand.
No, Judge.
One quick thing. It's no big deal from my perspective. It looks like we included mistakenly in the transcript and likely in the exhibit some additional information that neither side wanted, and that was some more discussion potentially between the sergeant and perhaps some more discussion that we didn't want. I looked at it. I don't think it's a big deal. There's nothing on there that creates a big problem, but we just didn't want to include it. So Mr. Ramuno stopped the CD, and we took away the transcript. I don't think it's a big deal, but does that mean we have to change out the exhibit or create another exhibit and substitute it?
Your Honor, we had to do that anyway because we had redacted the CD since we agreed on taking the other stuff out.
Okay. All right.
Can I have a moment on that, Judge?
You may.
We don't have an issue just redacting it. The state knows what to do. We just discussed it. They're going to redact it in a way I think that we both agree with, and that'll be the exhibit that'll go back to the jury room.
Okay. All right. Okay. Off the record, I think we had, what exhibit number? There was one that we thought that got put up that included some stuff that might have, we wanted to redact, and we're trying to figure out what number. We saw it up here, but it was one of the, was it the MySpace? Okay, we'll see if we can figure out what it is. We just need to be careful. We have different versions as we move things around. And I think everyone's being diligent in trying to make sure we only put out what we are supposed to. We just need to try and keep track that we don't have a version in front of the jury that we subsequently redacted or changed going forward. Okay, let's talk off the record about scheduling. Scheduling-wise, what do we have tomorrow?
We have Detective Velasquez, Agent Chavez, Detective Ramirez, and some recording stuff.
Okay.
And some stipulations to admit.
Okay. Sounds like, well, do you think we'll go through into what would be Thursday since we're dark Wednesday?
I can't imagine we will.
Okay. So it looks like the state's going to be finished tomorrow. We expect to rest. And then let's talk about what's going to happen, because if you rest tomorrow, the jury knows that they're not going to be here Wednesday. If you rest tomorrow, I'm about to tell them they're not going to be here Thursday also, per our earlier discussion. And then we're coming back Monday, and the defense may or may not present evidence at that time. It's your choice.
We're coming back a week from the following Monday.
Right, the 15th. And I'll tell them the defense may or may not present evidence. We'll know on the 15th, and that's how we'll do it. But they're about to get Thursday off, it sounds like. I didn't tell them yet because I wasn't absolutely sure, and I didn't want to promise them something we couldn't deliver. But it looks like we'll, unless somehow we go longer Tuesday, and then we'll have to come back Thursday. Thursday, it seems to me that since we all thought we were going to be here, it would be a good time maybe to talk about jury instructions. So we'll talk about a specific time tomorrow, and we'll work on them. But if we can get those jury instructions basically ready to go on Thursday, or at least advance the ball as far as we possibly can, that makes it a lot easier to come back on the 15th. We'll have to talk about, I want to work out the procedure, or how we're going to know as soon as possible what's going to happen on the 15th. In other words, I don't want, if we can help it, for me to be coming out here at 10:30 and everyone else, and we're not sure, are we going into closing arguments, or are we going to present evidence? So we need to find a reasonable amount of time where you can give the state notice of, are you going to present any witnesses, and if so, who they are. So think about that. I understand that sometimes the decision to present evidence, much less testimony of a defendant, can be made right at the last minute, and I don't want to jam you on that. But we also have to come to a reasonable place where the state's given notice and I'm given notice, since no testimony means we're transitioning right away into the close.
Judge, I've talked to Ms. Andrews about that. I've already narrowed down my witness list substantially, so she knows some people already who are not going to be called. We have to still make a final decision about whether or not Ms. Johnson's going to take the stand or not. Here's my suggestion, Judge. I would like to take Thursday off as well and not deal with, I mean, there'll be some special jury instructions, but most of the jury instructions are going to be fairly similar to the preliminary jury instructions. And I'd like to come back Monday in the 15th, I think. And if we decide, and I'll let everybody know in advance whether or not there'll be testimony from the defendant on that Monday the 15th. And if there's not going to be testimony on the 15th, then I think it might make sense to go through and deal with jury instructions at that point and anything else that we need to do. Just in that way we can plan right now in any event to close on Tuesday, the next day.
Okay, but I got to tell the jury probably tomorrow to come back Monday. If you're proposing a scenario by which they may show up Monday and I say, sorry, come back Tuesday. I prefer not to do that.
Well, Judge, I don't know any other way really around that right now.
Well, we could see if we can find a middle ground and have them come back Monday afternoon and use Monday morning to settle jury instructions if we need to. That way, either Monday afternoon we're going to have testimony, or we close Monday. I think that gives us enough time in the afternoon to close, I would think. Start right at 1:30?
Well, Your Honor, I really think we need to settle jury instructions before we prepare for closing. I want to use them in my closing argument. I don't want to wait until Monday morning and close on Monday afternoon if I don't know ahead of time what the jury instructions are going to be. I don't understand why we can't settle them Thursday.
I think we need to at least see how far we can advance the jury instruction ball on Thursday. So I do want to talk jury instructions on Thursday. We'll find a time. I'm not wed to a particular time of the day. Probably the earlier the better, but maybe we can do it at 1:30 or something, where we spend some time. I want to have what amounts to our best effort at a final draft, understanding that depending on whether Ms. Johnson testifies can affect everything from a defendant need not testify instruction, which is easy, I can take it out or put it in, to, depending on what's said, other instructions. But I think we can get most of the way there. Well, you'll have enough guidance at that point, and we won't be spending a lot of time Monday. We can still have them, let me ask you the question, if we come back Monday in the afternoon, does that, and we settle instructions before, so this is simply about cleaning anything up Monday morning we need to clean up before the jury gets the close. If we have the jury come back at 1:30 or maybe even 1, that should give us enough time to close, don't you think?
I would think so, John.
I would hope so, Judge.
I would hope so.
Judge, as long as I could reserve the right to maybe come in, use the break to draft up some potential special jury instructions, and we could deal with maybe a handful of them on Monday.
Depends on what a handful is.
I don't mind the state if they want to deal, I mean, I can operate last minute based on what the court rules in terms of my jury instructions. I don't mind if the state if they have specials and they want to submit those, and we can hash those through on Thursday, but I'd like to take the week.
Here's the problem, though. Those are exactly the kind of instructions that change your focus or you have to react to in terms of a close, a special jury instruction. We all know it's in the standard, and that's never going to surprise anybody, and she can plan and you can plan whether there's a standard in there or not. It's those special ones that change your approach at times with respect to close. That worries me. Am I saying on Thursday everything stops and you can't submit an instruction? No, but what I'm saying is I don't want during the week that I'm not here, Ms. Andrews is out of town, we get all this stuff that now not only do we need to really fight about on Monday, but depending on how I come down could affect what can be said and can affect a presentation that people might want to make. So
how about if we put a cap on it, Judge, and we say no more than, and I don't think I would need more than this, but no more than 5 max specials.
No, because 5 of them could be innocuous and 1 could be a time bomb from somebody's perspective. So let's talk on Thursday. I want to preserve your right to investigate and use the week to figure out what we're doing. On the other hand, I think her concern is a legitimate one. I don't want somebody to have to figure it out right before the close in terms of a new instruction. Maybe, and think about this, maybe we have them come back Tuesday and we use Monday to settle everything, and that gives you some time. We're not going to be pressed for time here, especially if we're closing on Tuesday the 16th.
That would be my preference, Judge. I just look at it and say we've got this week and a half period of time. I'd really prefer to just use that period of time and sit down and very carefully draft things up. We could come in and use all day Monday to figure out exactly what we're doing there, and then come back in Tuesday and either know for sure we're starting with testimony Tuesday morning or instructions and we're closing.
But we're still coming in Thursday. You're not getting out of that. I want to move the ball on Thursday. So we're coming in at some time Thursday. I'm leaning toward coming back or telling the jury we're going to come back on Tuesday, and then we'll use Monday to finish whatever we need to finish, whether it's to get ready for testimony or to talk about jury instructions or both.
So, Judge, are you telling me I have to draft up whatever specials I want to submit and be ready for Thursday morning to discuss those?
If you got a special right now, give it to me Thursday. I'm not foreclosing you from coming back with others on Monday. And I'm not going to, unless you get crazy, I'm not going to come back and say you've got too many. What I want you to do is if you have some right now that you can get out there, get them on the table so we can discuss them. If you have more on Monday, I'm probably going to let you present them and we can argue them in substance and decide whether to include them or not.
Okay, Judge, I'll see. I mean, I really wanted to use that week and a half to sit down since we had them to think about.
You'll still get that chance, but I'm sure you have a special instruction or two percolating right there that you can share with us on Thursday, and some that may be percolating further below the surface that you need to wait. So see if you can percolate some of them for Thursday, and then we'll talk about it. Have you submitted proposed instructions yet?
Not yet, Your Honor.
Okay, see if you can submit something, although I have my own standard set, and I know probably 90% already of what's going to be there, and that's at least what we're going to talk about on Thursday, which standards apply, those types of things, and then we'll see where that leaves us after that. All right, so I'll see everybody tomorrow at 10:30.
Okay.